Hi guys, I wanted to pop in with you guys and just have a quick conversation about how I feel about my weight loss. So today I posted my first scale video showing the weight loss that I've had as a short, and that's how they're going to come from this point going forward. It was really supposed to go out Friday, but I just was insecure about the video and trying to post it, but I decided to, punch fear in the face, as they say on Think Media, and really do it and just post it. I'm really grateful that a lot of people actually liked the video. I had a few likes. So that makes me feel good about my progress. I went from 245 to 238 in case you missed the video. I just want to talk about that for a second because, for me, that's a really big deal. This is something that I've been wanting to do but putting off and thinking like it's too big of a hurdle to cross. And I just, in the back of my mind, always felt like if I don't do something now, I'm going to end up 300 pounds. I have uncles that are really big men, really heavy set. And obesity runs in my family, so I knew what was lying down the trail for me if I didn't take action and do something. My uncle actually lost his foot, so that was something that has weighed heavily on me as a possibility for myself if I don't take charge and do something. So I just like to say, man, going from 245 to 238 has been a great change. Like, I can already feel the difference. I feel lighter on my feet. Going up and down the stairs feels slightly easier, though could be better. I think over these next coming weeks, we're in for some big change. One thing that has really made me nervous is the plateau effect of your calories not being low enough for your deficit to really make a big impact. I don't want to end up hitting my maintenance, where basically the 2,500 calories that I'm allotted per day are just maintenance calories. So I've been keeping a close eye on that, and so far so good. I made something really good today that was really just out of just necessity of wanting something to eat, something satiating, something filling, and something, of a decent portion that was going to help me really feel full, because that's something I've struggled with. Lately I've been having a lot of protein in my diet. I did have a comment telling me to try the carnivore diet, and I looked into it, where it's a protein-based diet, and not intentionally, but essentially that's what I've been doing. I've had a lot of pork at first, and that was working great. No real issues because of it, and I know pork is a heavy protein and tends to sit in the gut longer. So I decided to switch over and go with like steaks, some top round steaks. It's been nice to have a switch up, but I actually bought a pound of turkey last time we went to the store just to see how I feel about it, because I never had like ground turkey before. And today I used it. Today I put it into effect, and so what I did, I made the turkey, I made some brown rice on the side, and I also sauteed some veggies. I sauteed 1 bell pepper, 1 onion, a few carrots, and a few stalks of celery. Sauteed them real good, got them soft, put them in with the meat, and I put a little bit of teriyaki sauce on there. And based off putting all the ingredients in the macro tracker, it seems like I got that meal, the whole skillet, for roughly about 1,000 calories. I did punch in portions a little heavier than I feel like I used, because I wasn't able to measure everything, like the teriyaki sauce and things like that. I just did like 6 tablespoons just as a nice base, just to, in case I missed a calorie here or there. I know I'm close, but I would rather overestimate than underestimate and go over on my calories. So the whole skillet was 1,100 calories, and I know at least 100 of that is just the teriyaki sauce. So if that's something that sounds good to you, it was great. It was actually pretty good, and I'm going to finish the skillet over the next day or two. I'm definitely going to put that in some meal prep containers. I fasted today until about 2 o'clock, so from 8 p.m. to 2 p.m. today. If you've been following my journey here, I've got an intermittent fasting schedule in which I eat up to about 7, 8 p.m., give or take, depending on what my schedule looks like with work and what time I get off, because I got to come home and eat dinner. I do my best to knock my dinner out as early as possible, and I don't eat the next day before 11 p.m. I try to push that back as far as possible, and I've seen some great results from doing it. I've been able to push it back to 1 or 2 p.m., and I think my stomach is shrinking due to it, which has really helped with cutting back on food. Like I was saying, I ate half of that bowl and was like, woo. So I ate a couple more bites, put the rest up. I don't want to force it. Overall, this journey is going to be really manageable. I'm finding a lot of good tips online. Some great YouTube channels have really been there and really been like aces in the hole. And I would like to say, if you're struggling and you don't know if you can do it, just watch some YouTube channels, watch a few people. I would strongly suggest Sam Sulek. If you're not already watching him, if you found this channel, odds are you've seen Sam. He's just so motivational, and the guy knows his stuff. When you hear people talk about a diet, you think like complicated. You think, oh, rice cakes and carrot sticks. And that's not at all the truth. I can tell you from firsthand experience so far that it's not about exactly what you're eating as it is about the amount of which you're eating and the accuracy in your macro tracking. If you're tracking your calories and you're staying in that deficit, essentially what you're eating isn't super important. And that's something I'm starting to really figure out how it works. Now, I'm not saying that if you go eat a fucking triple cheeseburger from Five Guys and big old order of fries and that's under your calories, that you're going to be happy with yourself. Because I've also noticed that if you tend to go heavy on salt, you can still gain some water weight, which is something I'm starting to figure out with sodium. I'm trying to make sure I'm keeping up my water intake to counteract the sodium that's in my diet. Sodium has been the biggest challenge for me to get out of my diet. You would have thought it would have been sugar and sweets and junk food and fast food. It's not. I think, in my opinion, the hardest part of the diet has been the sodium intake, and that's been my biggest struggle. I've went over multiple times on sodium. However, I have counteracted it with plenty of water. I get up and I shoot for a liter first thing in the morning just to get that over with, because drinking 15 glasses of water as a middle-aged man is not easy. You know, water is something that should be second nature to us and super like easy to intake, but it's not. I would say that I would put a lot of that blame on like the food industry with the pushing of the fizzy drinks and the juices and the high sugar drinks that they have everywhere on the shelves. That really makes it a struggle to stay away from the pop. But I think that's been one of my biggest success stories of this whole journey so far is the omittance of pop. So as I said earlier this morning in my video, I started my health journey somewhere between December 21st and the 23rd. I can't remember exactly which day it is. And just for a layer of transparency, I don't want to give the wrong day. So over that, what is that, 2-3 weeks? Over that 2 or 3 weeks, I've had one soda. I had a soda as a treat with my dinner one day. And after you go a week or so without those, they're almost too sweet. Once you have nothing but water for about a week solid, them fizzy drinks and the sugary drinks like sodas are super hard to actually enjoy, because not only do they burn your throat, they're almost too sweet and kind of make you jittery. As the time goes on, it's been easier to not crave the sodas and not crave the sweets. I'm not perfect, nobody is, and I have had an occasional like cookie that my wife had. She brought home some cookies from work and I had one. So I'm not trying to put this message out as I'm perfect, because I'm definitely not, and I don't believe nobody is. So I want you to know, if you're really struggling with something, it's literally just putting your mind to it. You have to look within yourself and be tired of your own shit. That's really the way that I feel. In order to quit things, in order to move past addictions especially, you have to just get so sick of your own shit that you're like, man, I'm done with this. And those are the steps that I took when I quit smoking cigarettes. When I quit smoking cigarettes, and I touched on this very briefly, very lightly on one of my vlogs, when I quit smoking cigarettes, it was bittersweet, because all my friends smoked, which made it a little more difficult, and I would crave them. But I just had to really sit by myself. I sat by myself at the house playing the game, going to work, you know, not really mingling with nobody, just kind of being with just myself and my wife. And that made it easier, you know, that definitely made it easier. But the one thing that I did, and this is going to sound super cliche, but understand, this is the God's honest truth. I woke up one morning and I was hacking up things, and I would get up in the morning, I would get a drink, and I would smoke a cigarette. What I did one morning was I woke up and I was like, you know what, I'm done with this. I want to change. I want to live a better life, and I want to be healthier. I had a brand new pack. I just bought a pack the night before and I went to bed. I pulled one cigarette out of the pack and I crushed the rest. Crushed the pack. I didn't go throw the pack in the trash, or I could go get it if I got in a bad way, go give them to somebody. No. For me, I crushed the pack, and in my mind, that was me crushing my addiction. I smoked that one cigarette and I never looked back. My wife vaped right next to me a lot, and that made it very difficult. Very, very difficult. And for anybody that's struggling with the cigarette addiction, I understand where you're coming from, but you can do it. You can definitely do it. And I want you to know, anybody that's paid attention to my videos, whether you've commented, liked, or not, disliked, whatever you've done, if you've sat down for even a minute and gave my video the time of day, I appreciate you. I know time is the most valuable thing we have on this planet. Money is nothing in the grand scheme of things, but that time that you give me and you pay attention to my journey and you give me a thumbs up or, you know, a like on my video makes me feel great. And the comments that I receive where people tell me good job, they're happy to see me wanting to make a change in my life, has been more important to me than you guys probably realize. When you're trying to overcome something as big as a weight loss issue, all the support you can get is something that you can't put a price on. Getting good support from people is not easy to come by in life. A lot of people won't support your endeavors. A lot of people will down you, tell you that what you're doing is stupid. I don't know if my videos are being pushed to just the weight loss community. Whatever community my video is being pushed to that's paying attention, thank you. Thank you very much. I'm doing the best I can also to up the quality of my videos. I understand my thumbnails need a lot of work. I wanted to have something that I could sit down in front of and be proud of, to be able to bring you guys these videos. As I don't know if you can see, but I made a little studio setup here in the house, and I like it. I think it looks really good. I've done my best on it so far. I'm going to add to it. There's going to be more things to come. This journey is something that I'm not taking lightly, and when I look back on this, I want this to be one of my greatest achievements, and I want this to be something that I can show to my daughter when she gets a little bit older. I don't know if you know this, I have an 8-month-old daughter. Her name is Katrina. She's beautiful. That's my best friend, and one day she's gonna have self-doubt, she's gonna wonder if she can do it. And I would love to have a little series of something that I can come back to and say, look, baby, look at what your daddy did. So as cliche and as corny as it sounds, that's something that I look forward to one day, is to be able to bring her to this channel and say, look what I did. If you have any doubt, don't do it. If you have anything you're struggling with, you can succeed. You can do it. It's nothing but the first step. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. Please believe in yourself. I believe in you. Anything you want to do, you can definitely do. Thanks for watching the video. I want y'all to have a great day. Take it easy. Bye-bye.